Dear devotees, please welcome to His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily call. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj is with us. Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today we will be relishing nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Verse 5. I'll be sharing my screen. Is it okay, Maharaj, to share the screen?
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tatam tapo vilatada loka siksraksayame. Taptam tapo vidaya loka siksriya sasayame. Govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami taptam tapo vividaha loka siksresayame ado sanasvatapasa sachatu sano bhut prakalpa samplava vinastam ihatmatadvam samya jagadamunayo yad achakshatatmam. Translation: in order to create different planetary systems, I had to undergo austerities and penance, and the Lord, thus being pleased with me, incarnated in the four shanas: Sanaka, Satkumara, Sanandana, and Sanatana. In previous creation, the supreme truth, spiritual truth, was devastated, but the four shanas explained it so nicely that the truth at once became clearly perceived by the sages. Purport: in the Vishnu Sarasyanam prayers, there is mention of the Lord's name as Sanat and Sanatanatanam. The Lord and the living entities are both qualitative Sanatam, or eternal, but the Lord is Sanatanatam, or the eternal in the superlative degree. The living entities are positively Sanatam, but not superlatively, because the living entities are apt to fall to the atmosphere of non-eternity also. Therefore, the living entities are qualitatively different from the superlative Sanatanam, the Lord. The word son is also used in the sense of charity. Therefore, when everything is giving up in charity unto the Lord reciprocates by giving himself unto the devotee. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita also 4:11. Yeyatamam prapadyantehi. Brahmaji wanted to create the whole cosmic situation as it was in the previous millennium, and because in the last devastation, the knowledge of the absolute truth was altogether erased from the universe, he desired that the same knowledge again be renovated, otherwise there would be no meaning in the creation. Because there is prime necessity in transcendental knowledge, the ever-conditioned souls are given a chance for liberation in every millennium of creation. This mission of Brahmaji was fulfilled by the grace of the Lord when the four sanas, namely Sanakana, Sanatkumara, Sanandana, and Sanatana, appeared as his four sons. These four sanas were incarnations of the knowledge of the Supreme Lord, and as such they explain transcendental knowledge so explicitly that all the sages could at once assimilate this knowledge without the least difficulty. By following in the footsteps of the four Kumaras, one can at once see the Supreme Personality of Godhead within oneself. Om Gyanim Timidandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitiname Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvasesa Sunyavari Pastyatya Desatarni Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Paeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Harigor Bhaktarindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So there are 4 sampradayas, and one of them is the Chatushushana Sampradaya, which is the Sampradaya of the 4 Kumaras. And therefore, Sampradaya Hina Vihita Yena means that one has to follow one of the 4 sampradayas in this age of Kali in order to be authorized to make progress ultimately to the goal of self-realization. So we are in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. There's the Sri Sampradaya. There is the Rudra Sampradaya, and there's the 4 Kamara Sampradaya. Each one has a Sampradaya Acharya, and our Acharya is who knows? In the Sri Sampradaya, the Acharya is ultimately Ramanujacharya. And the Gaudiya Sampradaya, the Acharya is Lord Brahma. In the Rudra Sampradaya, the Acharya is Lord Shiva. And in the Chatushanush Sampradaya, that is, what is his name? He's the one that was debated with Lord Chaitanya. I forgot his name.
Nimbarka Swami?
Yeah, Nimbarka. Yeah, Nimbarka Sampradaya. So these 4 are the Sampradaya Acharyas and each of the heads of the Sampradaya. So one has to take knowledge in the process of devotional service from one of these 4 Sampradayas. So we follow Lord Chaitanya because Lord Chaitanya is the authorized form of the process of self-realization in this age. He stands out amongst the 4 sampradayas because he's giving Radha and Krishna's attainment in the mood of Sri Vrindavan Dham through the process of Harinam Sankirtan, the chanting of the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we take shelter of this particular sampradaya. Although all the sampradayas are authorized, in this age, Lord Chaitanya stands out because this is the age by which there are so many, what we say, anomalies. And Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. And therefore, in the other sampradayas, you don't have the Supreme Personality of Godhead who was directly involved with the sampradaya. But in this Brahma Madhva means Madhvacharya, and then there's Gaudiya. Gaudiya means Lord Chaitanya, Sampradaya. So we are Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Krishna explains in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, one must follow Sampradaya in order to attain the success in the execution of Bhakti Yoga. And the other Sampradayas usually teach, except for the Chatushanusha, the 4 Kumaras, the other 2 teach the level of realization of the absolute truth in the mood of Vaikuntha, or Narayan realization. But in Chaturshushanushana, they also focus on Krishna in Vrindavan. But Krishna in Vrindavan is very difficult to attain unless one gets the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, it's Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita that without taking shelter of Panchatattva, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, one cannot reach the ultimate principle of self-realization in the mood of Radha and Krishna in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Because Lord Chaitanya is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahiyonya. He is Krishna, but he carries the mood of his internal pure energy, Radharani. So he is a combination of her mood and his identity as the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. He is Krishna. So therefore, we are in line with the mood of Vrindavan if we carefully follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. And what does it mean to follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Means to follow his representatives, the six Goswamis. Bande Rupa Sanatano Raghuya Go, Sri Jiva Gopala Go. Particular Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, as Krishna Das Kaviraj, as he narrates the Chaitanya Charitamrita at the end of every chapter, he gives complete obeisances and credit to all the knowledge he has received from his two gurus, Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswami. Both of them are internal energies, very intimate associates of Srimati Radharani in the spiritual world. They have taken birth on this planet to assist Lord Chaitanya in the process of Krishna consciousness. So Rupa Goswami particularly, he is called our Abhideya Acharya. He teaches the process of pure devotional service through his writings. He received that knowledge from Lord Chaitanya at Dasvamedha Ghat when the Lord met him and spoke to him for 10 consecutive days on the entire science of self-realization. And then he wrote that down in two main books, actually three. One is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which we know as Nectar Devotion. We have a summary study of Nectar Devotion. We don't have the whole Nectar Devotion. Actually, right now, in our ISKCON society, there's an effort to represent Nectar of Devotion in a more complete form with a very, very extensive introduction, more than 41 pages, describing the glories of Srila Rupa Goswami. And of course, that's the science of bhakti, not in a nutshell, but in an expanded form. And then we have Raghunath Das Goswami also. Of course, Rupa Goswami also did Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instructions, which is a kind of like a summary study of Nectar of Devotion. It gets right to the point within 11 verses. And then Ujjwala Nilamani, these are the three books that are recommended reading for the devotees. We should read these books. Srila Prabhupada has authorized us to read these books of Rupa Goswami because he is teaching in line with Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is in one sense we might call him the Sampradaya Acharya also, but he is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead who's teaching through his personal practice the means of self-realization through associating and serving Vaishnavas and chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And the whole science of bhakti is there in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to Rupa Goswami. And of course, also, he gave those same teachings to Sanatana Goswamis also. in a slightly different form. So both of these receive directly the mercy of Lord Chaitanya in the form of transcendental knowledge. So we are followers of Lord Chaitanya because we follow in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who made the six Goswamis his predecessors or his Sampradaya Acharyas. So the works of the Goswamis are our life and soul on the science of Bhakti Yoga, like that. But of course, we should read and study Srila Prabhupada's books because there's the essence. And Prabhupada's gleaned the essence of the Acharyas and put it in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, of course, Nectar of Instructions, Nectar of Devotion, also Sri Ishupanishads, and also, these are the essential books to learn. And of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with the philosophy that he taught. So we have this knowledge is unlimited, and this knowledge is transcendental realization too. As Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, this knowledge is actually a feature of self-realization. So today people have a tendency to be more visual than reading books because our minds are so somewhat affected by the age of Kali. That is, that the age of Kali has caused people to have difficulty controlling their mind because they're constantly being inundated with so much media from all different forms, and also from the age is so somewhat corrupted. There's hypocrisy, there's lying, there's cheating, there's deception, there's deceit on all levels. So it's a very difficult age, and therefore people are more inclined to receive knowledge through the vision, or through the videos, or through the eyes. But that's secondary. Actual knowledge comes through the process of Shravanam. Therefore, the Vedas are called Shruti. Shruti means to hear. So Vedic knowledge is spoken and heard, and that once the knowledge is heard, it's assimilated and understood easily. What you see may not always be correct in terms of your interpretation, but when you hear nicely, that hearing awakens the realization of the knowledge you're receiving. That's if you hear what we say with rapt attention. That means full attention. That. So, and of course, reading is hearing, hearing is hearing, like that. So, we have to take advantage of this transcendental literature left by Srila Prabhupada and the previous Acharya. It's a gold mine, actually. There's one of my godbrothers, his name is Bhanu Swami. He's translated most of the works of the Goswamis into English, and taking and actually presenting it in the form of different books, more than 170 books that he's put out all alone. You go onto his website, Bhanu Swami, you can find a whole listing of his books, which are all the works of the Goswamis, mostly Rupa Goswami, and of course Jiva Goswami with the Sandarbhas. And so if we really want to be fixed in the process of devotional service and sharpen our intelligence, we should read these books, because by reading and trying to understand this knowledge, you activate the intelligence. And when the intelligence becomes activated, it becomes stronger and clearer. We have to use our intelligence not simply to manipulate the material energy so we can find a better arrangement in this world. We have to use our intelligence to somehow or other understand this transcendental knowledge, which is not part of this material world. It's coming from the spiritual world into the hearts of the pure devotees who have realized that knowledge simply by their pure devotional activities. And so here we are hearing about the four Kumaras. They also are they are a personification, or even may we say the incarnation of transcendental knowledge. And it says if one hears from the four Kumaras, they get the complete understanding of transcendental knowledge. And these four Kumaras were only 4-year-old boys, but they were self-realized at the age of 4. So they appeared in baby form. That's a whole different story, why they appeared like that. But actually, they are the personification of transcendental knowledge. Like that. And and they have their sampradaya also, the Kumara Sampradaya, or the what's also called the, what else is called, Chatushushana Sampradaya. And Sanat Kumara, he's the chief out of the 4. Sanat Kumara, he's the best of the 4. And he also writes books about transcendental knowledge. So we can get lost in transcendental knowledge and read and just get absorbed. And if you get absorbed, if you read a lot, you get so full of transcendental knowledge and realization, then you start to it becomes automatic. We want to speak it. So we talk to it, and then that becomes the process of self-realization. Bodhyantas parasparam katyantas chamam nitya tushyanti cha ramanti cha. When devotees come together, read and discuss, and then more and more of that knowledge becomes apparent and becomes revealed through the process of reading and discussion, like that. So it's a great exercise. It's something that, of course, in the villages of India, before people would take rest at night, all the village members would gather in one place within the village, and they would have readings of Mahabharata or Srimad Bhagavatam or Ramayana. And that's the last thing people would experience, and then they would take rest, like that. And it says that when they would do that, then many times they would dream about transcendental knowledge. So yeah, it was an exercise that was very popular in Vedic India. Of course, that's now somewhat, it's still there in many villages in India, but it's being reduced by the criminal activities of the Western materialist society, which is going everywhere, trying to sell their useless, junky products to everybody who doesn't need them. Well, that's another thing. So yeah, so this knowledge is so hearing is the process for remembering, and remembering is the goal of self-realization, is to remember Krishna, remember our relationship with Krishna, and remember how to develop that relationship through the process of serving the Lord in devotional service. Yeah, so this particular verse and purport is illustrating the importance of transcendental knowledge. And Krishna speaks about that in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It's also mentioned in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the importance of transcendental knowledge. Because when you have knowledge, you're free. Just like what is the ultimate principle of knowledge is to know that I am immortal. I don't die. So when you come to the realization that you are eternal, even while you're in this body, that realization is available, then there's no fear anymore, because you transcend the whole process of death, because you know that Well, the body will end, yes, but I will not end. I will go on to a better situation in my next life. Better situation, not just not just another situation, but a better situation. So yeah, therefore this knowledge actually is freedom. Freedom means to know that you are eternal, immortal. That's the basis of freedom. Okay. We'll stop there and see if there's any discussions.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. This is such a good reminder for us to understand how important this transcendental knowledge is. And we should be hearing and reading much more than what we are doing. Will help us. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please, if you can, put your videos on. And if you have any questions on this topic, please ask and share your realization if you have any. Hare Krishna.
If you can't read for some reason, some people have difficulty reading, they can hear. We have so many audio channels where you can tune in to transcendental knowledge by Srila Prabhupada and by Srila Prabhupada's, sannyas disciples.
Yeah.
So you have there's no limit. Sometimes it says some people have a hard time sitting and reading for whatever reason. You can hear. It's not as efficacious as it is hearing, but it does have a great effect because you're receiving transcendental knowledge.
Thank you, Maharaj. Sri Devi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Sukavaha. Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you again for reminding us about the importance of reading, as Sukavaha said. My question is about Shravanam. We know that the very first step is hearing, and hearing is so important. So I would like to know if people who are not really taking any interest, even if they're passively hearing, their soul can hear and they will get benefited even without their realizing. Is this correct understanding of transcendental sound vibration?
There's two things. When you do something with the understanding of why you're doing it, you get one result. When you do something and you get and you do it without the understanding why you're doing it, you get another result. That's true with everything in bhakti.
Oh.
So both will receive benefit, but one who's consciously aware of why they're doing it and what's the goal of what they're doing, it will achieve much more than those who simply unconsciously hear. Yeah. So that's a principle. Even if you do your devotional service, if you understand why you're doing and the purpose behind it, and you put your attention on that, there's much more spiritual result from that activity as opposed to just doing the activity.
Yeah,
That's true, and that's true in everything. Even when you're chanting, that applies also.
Right. I see. Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's a principle. That's also a statement in Shastra.
Well, can that progress to then taking an interest in actually hearing? Because the reason I ask is my daughter revealed recently that she's taking a lot of interest in hearing His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj's lectures. She says every time when I'm cooking, I really like to listen to him. When I'm traveling, I really like to listen to him. When I'm gardening, I really like to listen. I said, are you playing it loud enough so that your husband can hear? It's like that. So she said, yeah, it is playing loud enough. And I also play kirtan. So I was thinking at least he's getting some passive hearing. So I was wondering whether that is, somewhat beneficial than at least not hearing anything.
Well, he's not even trying to hear, so that's another thing. Mhm. There's some agyata sukriti there, and that's all.
Okay.
But that'll take a long time. If one stays to that type of process, that'll take a very long time.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Thank you for explaining and clarifying that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. That was a really powerful point you mentioned, that your daughter is now listening to the classes of Sachidanand Maharaj and the Kirtan. That's so amazing. Normally, this is my realization that I like to hear Kirtan or class while I'm cooking anyways. And if I don't, my cooking is not that good. Everyone tells me it's just not good. Although they don't know whether I listen to the class or kirtan or not, they when they taste the food, they realize that, oh, this is not right today. What happened, Mom?
Well,
So, yeah.
just remember that I'm coming to London, so you keep your kirtan on.
Yes, yes, Maharaj, definitely. Can't wait to serve you. It has been such a long time.
They put you on the list.
I know. I've put myself on the days as well when I can serve you. So yeah, just waiting for your arrival.
So after eating, while I'm eating your lunch, I'll be dancing around the table then.
Guru Maharaj, you are so adorable. We just love your sense of humor, your sweetness, and your, just being you. It's just wonderful. We just relish you like Rasgulla.
I'm somewhat of a rascal.
We are so lucky to have you, Maharaj, and you're amazing. Amritaram Mataji, please go ahead. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances are glory to Srila Prabhupada. So Guru Maharaj, our concentration increases when we control our eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So since we in ISKCON we are used to eating so much of prasadam. Since in ISKCON we are used to eating so much of prasadam, and which directly reflects the sleeping as well. How do we take care of these two factors?
And the question is, how much to eat and how much to sleep? Is that it?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. I also want some clarification on defending as well, but let me clear out these two first.
Well, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, one who eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough, cannot properly perform the yoga system. Therefore, he says, one who is temperate means moderate, and eating, sleeping, working, and recreation can perform the yoga system properly. So we have to regulate. So Prabhupada has given some statements in regard to both of these topics. For sleeping, he said we should sleep 6 hours and no more than 6.5 in some cases. But some people might need more, but 8 hours is definitely too much. Too much sleep is actually bad for your health. It's actually really bad for your health. Some people think if I sleep more, I'll be more healthy. No, you won't. And it's bad for the body to sleep so much. Therefore, it says that people who sleep like 10 hours a day, they have a mortality rate of people who are obese, people who are what we say overweight, are really overweight. So therefore, it says one should be very moderate in these activities. Probably 6.5 hours. In some extreme cases, 7, but like that. Depends on your activities also. And for eating, it says that we should eat like a yogi. The stomach should be half filled with food, 1/4 filled with water, and 1/4 left for air for proper digestion. So that's mentioned also. But one knows by their own experience how much they can take and whether they're eating too much or not. One should not get carried away by the taste of the food and forget about the quantity they're eating. One should not fall into that trap. Because too much eating brings one down into the mode of passion. And then one gets a little lethargic also, or unnecessarily passionate. So one has to avoid that.
Thank you, Maharaj. I see a lot of times that food becomes a lot of medium for preaching, basically. When we are preaching, food is a very essential medium. So,
You mean distributing food?
yes.
Yeah. All of our programs must include prasadam distribution. And Prabhupada really made it a principle that in our temples, anyone who comes to our temple must get some prasadam. Even if it's a little small handful or one sweet ball or something, everyone must get prasad. Because prasad is transcendental.
Yeah. So, as a practicing sadhaka, we should have a proper control over what we are eating. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And sleeping. So, Guru Maharaj, how do we understand the defending factor?
Defending? Defending means keep a distance. Or depend on Krishna. Completely on Krishna. Krishna will take care of me. And if there's some enemy or some situation that is causing us to become disturbed, stay away.
Okay, Guru Maharaj.
Unless
Thank
it's our required service, then that's another thing. But it says, the Goswamis, they conquered over these 4 things. Defending means, keeping a distance.
Yes, ma'am. So keeping a safe distance where you're not actually neglecting the person.
Yeah,
Some-
defending, we defend in different ways. We defend our eating, sleeping, and mating. Defending is the foremost of all of those four. We build a house so we can eat, sleep, and mate inside the house, and that's our defense.
Thank you very much.
Balaji.
Balakrishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to Vaishnavas everywhere. Guru Maharaj, it seems to me at our temple, we fill our plates with half food and half gulab jamun or something like that. So that's what I noticed. like we need to, I need to do better when taking this too much food there. So Guru Maharaj, it was great hearing about the defending part, because it's not something when they say eating, sleeping, mating, the others are obvious, but the defending is very insidious. It's what we practice to do the other things. That was great to hear. Guru Maharaj, my question is, what do we mean when we say someone is envious of Krishna? Because people barely think of Krishna. Some people don't know he exists at all. They're not thinking about him, and even people. So, is it the grabbing of Krishna's things? Is that the envy, Maharaj?
The whole world is envious of Krishna, because Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and he is the object of everyone's service. So because they want to be the enjoyer, or they want to be served, they try to take the position of Krishna. Therefore, that's enviousness of Krishna. Everyone, the whole world is envy, and envy is the cause of the fall down of the soul from the spiritual world. And then that enviousness takes its activities between everyone, and everyone is envious of everyone else. Somebody's got a better car, a better job, a more qualified wife or husband, better kids.
Yes. Easily noticeable, yes.
Yeah, it's everywhere. The envy is so subtle. We think it's almost normal, but it's not. The antidote for envy is to learn to become satisfied by whatever Krishna arranges for you in your life. Learn to be satisfied. And don't look towards others' gain as some feeling of unhappiness or some. There's two things: jealousy and envy. Envy means I'm unhappy because you got something that I want, and jealousy means I feel bad about myself because you're better than me.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And the whole world is like that. And animal killing is based on envy, because that Krishna has given that person, that animal, a right to life, and you're interfering with that. And so you're envious of Krishna, and actually all the envy that is being directed to each other in this world actually is directed towards Krishna, because it's Krishna who is allowing people to be whoever they are, who have whatever they have. He is allowing that, or he's actually giving it, or he's allowing it, either one. So actually all envy is really directed towards Krishna, even if it appears to be directed towards someone in this world. That means you don't like what Krishna's doing.
Yes. This,
pretty heavy when you think about it.
It is. I'm so glad I asked the question, because, yeah, it's like this person is, I don't know, this great actor, or, somebody who has great potential, somebody who's in a great position, was put in that position by Krishna. And
Yeah, he's allowed to have that situation, yeah.
Mhm.
Because so many people work for the same thing, and some get it and some don't. You can see that also.
Yes, yes.
Many people try to become rich and they fail. Others
Yeah.
hardly even try and they get it automatically.
Yeah, I so wish I knew about Paramatma sanction when I was younger, Maharaj, because I tried desperately to do some things which I thought I deserved. And the same thing got hacked down and denied again and again and again. I kept trying. If I had better philosophy back then, I would have not tried.
Yeah, it's a waste of time and,
Yes.
and energy.
Mhm.
If you serve Krishna, Krishna will take care of you. And you can be satisfied by whatever he provides. Sometimes he may provide more than you need, and sometimes he provides less than what you think you need. But that doesn't matter. The devotee is satisfied because he knows it's Krishna who's providing or not providing. We were reading that yesterday when we talked about one point. I'll
Mhm.
read I'll read it again today. That it's a somewhat related point. And the point is, it says here, we can ask favor from anyone, but we must know that nobody can favor us unless sanctioned by the Supreme Person. Suppose we approach a rich man to favor us with some contribution. Krishna is there within, and if he says, you give him this money, the man will give us. If he is not so fortunate, that person, therefore Krishna does not tell him or dictate to him. So, yeah, people think they're making their own decisions, but they're actually getting the knowledge based on their desires from Supersoul within the heart.
Yes. So, Maharaj,
But
is
if
it
you,
then? Go ahead, Maharaj.
yeah, if you stay in touch with Krishna all the time, you're always in the best situation and you're always happy. Stay connected to Krishna always. Don't, and then anything that happens will be exactly the way it's supposed to happen. When you act independently of Krishna, then you work under his material energy, and then what happens may be good or bad by material standards, but there's no guarantee in either way.
Wonderful, Maharaj.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. We're coming to Farmington Hills soon.
Yes. Haribol. This is awesome, Maharaj.
I just talked to Yugala Kishore yet last night. We made an arrangements so the dates are set.
Beautiful, Maharaj. Please announce them as soon as possible.
Yeah, you can catch it from Yugala. He'll give you the.
Yes, yes, I will. Oh, yeah, I will text him after this class.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Rasa
Yeah.
Vilasini Mataji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev and assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj, I just want to share something and I just want to check, is it the right way to approach? Maharaj, when I listen to lecture while cooking or doing other activities, even I don't remember much afterwards. So I set aside time during the day to sit into a one place and listen attentively. And along with that, I read and take notes. And I listened to the same lecture for 2 hours. So, Maharaj, if I've listened to the lecture attentively even once, then I then listen to the same lecture again while cooking or doing other activities. This is because, Maharaj, if I listen to a new lecture while cooking, even I'm not able to focus as much. I feel better when I take time to sit and listen properly. So, Maharaj, is it the right way to approach or something?
Well, if you're hearing while you're doing your day-to-day chores or responsibilities, that's good. That's good. But we need to take time where just to focus on what we're on the hearing process. Therefore, we should sit down and find quality time to read. So we have a little formula. I think I sent that formula so many times to the attendants on the Zoom call many times. It was called the 10 principles to follow for effective reading. We have that, right? Sridev, I think I sent it to Srimati, and of course, maybe others received it also. It's nice. Maybe if I can find it now, give me a minute, I can read it. So, yeah, take me a minute. Should be able to find it quite easy. And take note of this, and don't just forget about it after I read it, because it's important. So, prayerful reading, it's called prayerful reading. And there's 10 principles. Okay, so they're a little bit lengthy. We can send them out too, but I'll read just for the sake. Decide on what you're going to read. Decide on how long you will spend reading at this time. The time could be 15, 30, or an hour or more. It's up to you. Decide what you're going to read and how long. Go to a place where you can be alone, uninterrupted, and quiet. First, take care of all of your bodily needs, and that no one will visit you and the phone won't ring. Shut the door. This is the time to be alone with Prabhupada's books. Make yourself physically comfortable. When not so comfortable, you'll fall asleep. You can sit on the chair or on the floor, it doesn't matter. Just be in an area without any distractions. Take time for appropriate attitude. That proper mood is that you'll be able to associate with the Supreme Lord through transcendental sound. Be humble. Pray to Guru and to Gauranga and to Radha and Krishna, so you can receive their mercy during your reading. You can read aloud or you can read silently, which is more effective for you. Read until a phrase or an idea strikes you and catches your attention. Stop at that point. You may repeat the phrase over and over again. Think about it and silently about it. But simple repetition often helps more to inspire insight. Slowly reading again and see if that point strikes you as special. These are guidelines. When the time is up, offer your obeisances, and as much as you're able to assimilate what you have read and realized in your life. And you may also go back for recall. Look for interesting points that catch your attention and write them down. Okay?
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much. Thank you, Srila.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for those instructions. Very powerful and important. Bhagyasri Mataji, do you have a question? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisance and to your lotus feet. All good to Srila Prabhupada and all the Vaishnavas here. Thank you so much for a wonderful class, wonderful instructions. My question is regarding Prasadam Maharaj. Like, we know there are many people that they eat Prasadam at home. At the same time, due to their lack of control, they eat outside as well. Maybe at some other places, packaged food. So, what will be the progress of those people with having that prasadam as well as the other food as well?
Well, the acharyas restrict us from eating any food unless it's prasadam. And some of the food that is cooked outside is cooked by people who have really bad karma or heavy karma or just karma. And that goes into the cooking. And if you eat that, it'll cause your mind to be disturbed either later or even in the evening time when you try to sleep. You may come up with strange or very horrible dreams. This is all due to eating food from non-devotees. And so, I mean, Prabhupada writes about it. We should not take food from non-devotees. Even if you take it and offer it, still, it is still polluted because it's cooked for sense gratification. It's not cooked for in the mood of devotion. What is Krishna saying? What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Sukha, turn to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse number 14. I think it's 14, no, 13. 3:13. So you can read 3:13 in Bhagavad Gita. This verse, this is spoken by Krishna. So we get the direct statement from the Supreme Lord. Sukava, come on, let's go.
Yes.
3:13. Yagna sasistito shanto munchate sarvakil bisai bunjate te kagam papa ye pachat yatmakarana. Somebody read.
The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin.
Yeah, so you're getting sinful karma from people if you eat into restaurants like that or outside situations. It'll disturb your Krishna consciousness quite strongly. It can even cause you to fall down. Mm-hmm. Stay away from it. Eat only prasad. And we have such a variety of wonderful foodstuffs that are offered to the deity, cooked with devotion. I mean, eating becomes a wonderful experience.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Actually, I see there are many people, they take it up very nicely just because of just that small loss of control. That's why they are still not able to progress that way. That's why I was just wanted to know about the progress of those people is impacted by that.
Prabhupada said we should distribute prasadam. He's referring to each temple. Every temple should distribute prasadam within a radius of 10 miles.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
It's a very important part of our process of bhakti to be very streamlined and strict and take only food cooked by devotees who are following the principles, not just devotees. They have to be following the principles too. That means chanting 16 rounds and following the 4 regulative principles. No one is allowed to cook in temples unless they're second initiated. That was Prabhupada's standard. Of course, that standard has been adjusted for whatever reason. But that's Prabhupada. No one could cook for the deities unless they were second initiated.
Thank you, Mataji. I think Sridevi Mataji had a question to you, or Amritana Mataji can go.
If you eat nice transcendental food, you'll be happy. If you eat food outside, you'll be miserable. It's just like that.
Sridevi Mataji, do you want to ask your question, or Amritana Mataji can go ahead?
Hare Krishna. So just to follow up on this, Guru Maharaj, usually when we keep house programs, sometimes we invite non-devotees as well. So they are inclined to cook for these Vaishnavas. So
No, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't accept that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
Okay.
You have to tell them, we eat only food offered. Prabhupada says, don't eat on planes, airplanes, and all kinds of conveyances where they serve food also. If you have to travel, carry your own food with you, prasadam with you. You may eat like fruit outside. Fruit is okay because it's not cooked. Salad is okay because it's not cooked. But anything that's cooked, it will have negative effects on your consciousness. Particularly grains. Grains are a quick medium for polluted consciousness. You may not experience it immediately, but it'll work on you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for the clarification.
You just have to be strict with that kind. If people want to come, they can come, but the cooking should be done by devotees. We don't allow people to bring food to the temples from outside. Unless they're devotees and they cook it in pots that are, they cook it in pots that are not used for anything but prasadam. Even that's quite, what we say, precarious. We try to avoid that. Even sometimes people will give me a box of sweets from the sweet shop in India. I won't eat it. They have all of these fancy sweet shops with it, so many nicely tasting sweets. I don't know. I just give it to the lower animals outside. They can't pick up any karma. No, I have to be strict when it comes to eating. That you have to be really strict. Otherwise, it'll affect your consciousness. We should be super strict on that.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for reiterating that. Sri Devi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Maharaj, you was mentioning that if you serve Krishna, he'll take care of you. So I was wondering, the 6 principles of surrender, where one of them is mentioned, Krishna is my only maintainer, Krishna is my only protector, Krishna is my only savior, like that. So at what level will we reach that point where we actually completely surrender and say, okay, Krishna, I'm going to serve you and I'm not going to worry about anything else?
You can do that immediately. You can just say, yeah, I'm going to follow that principle and just do it. That's all. It's not a matter of reaching a certain level. You just do it. You have that faith. If you don't have faith in Krishna, where you have to place your faith in something else that is not Krishna. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. There's one question in the chat by Narsingha Leela Mataji. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. In connection to prasadam, sometimes we become so sensitive to the mood and energy of the food, even if cooked by devotees, especially during festivals. What to do in such situations? Thank you, Maharaj.
I don't understand the question. Mm-hmm. Can you explain the question to me?
Yes. So Mataji is asking that sometimes the food cooked by the devotees in certain moods during the time of the festival affects. Is it something, Narsingha Leela Mataji, you are implying?
Yes, especially during festival, but in general, and sometimes we have nightmares or just our mood changes and some negative emotions come up and we can realize that it's not ours, but it's coming from some other source.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's very difficult.
Yeah. It's there. And that's why you have to be careful who cooks for you and whether they're chanting 16 rounds and following the 4 regulative principles. Not just chanting 16 rounds, but following the 4 regs. Yeah.
Sometimes it happens during the festival time. They do give chance to the first initiates to cook, and that prasad can be distributed as well. So maybe that's what.
Yeah, that's there also. We've compromised that. But if that person is strictly following 4 regulative principles and chanting 16 rounds, that should be okay. Okay, so I think we're pretty much out of time.
Yeah, 18 minutes over. So
yeah,
no questions.
Yeah, I think I have to go also because I have a few guests that are come, so I have to tend to that right now. Okay, thank you very much. And tomorrow's Monday. We'll see you all for the next verses. A very interesting chapter. And you'll hear about the different incarnations of the Lord, which kind of perks your interest in hearing about their full pastimes, which come in the Bhagavatam in later cantos. These are like little, what we say, what do they call it?
Appetizer.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Guru Maharaj. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you for today's
Krishna.
class. All glories to
Thank you
Srila
so much, Guru
Prabhupada.
Maharaj. Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much, Guru Maharaj. Dandavat
Hare
pranam.
Krishna. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
Jai.
ki jai.
Jai.
Guru
Thank
Maharaj,
you,
Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. Yes,
Baba.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.